Okay guys, Brian Schmidt here, and I'm going to talk to you real quick about some really key presentations in the finesse area of things. You know, do not be scared to scale down and go finesse-y. There's tournaments that get won strictly finesse fishing, and it's just a good way to generate a lot of bites. I'm originally a really die-hard power fisherman, but I've really adopted the finesse deal and I apply it, you know, all over the country. So I took a second here, guys, and I chose four tactics, four techniques, four baits here that I'm going to talk to you about why I chose these and how to apply these. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about is a wacky or a Nico style bait. So this I actually have rigged up in the Nico style. This is a Missile Baits 48. The really cool thing about a Missile Baits 48, guys, is both ends of the worm are the same width, but in the center, the width of the worm gets a lot thinner. So generally, fishing a Nico worm or whatever, we would put the weight in one end or the other. What I do, which is a really cool thing, I think that really works with the 48, is I bury my nail weight inside the middle of the worm, which allows this worm to flutter a lot better because both ends of the tail are the same. So it's a unique action, especially with a Nico weight. So I have this on a 1/0 Hayabusa special wacky hook. This is a very, very light wire. This is not something I'm putting in like heavy duty structure. This is finesse approach. It gives me the capability of skipping too, getting underneath some docks, you know, some shade areas. So that's why I chose that and this particular worm. There is so many fish caught on a wacky worm, period. This is Brian Schmidt's Signature Series Nico rod from Fitzgerald Fishing. This is a 7/1 medium heavy, a lot of backbone, but really, really, really light tip. The next is a drop shot. So why do we have a Nico and a drop shot? Well, like we talked about with the Nico over there, I can skip. Can't really do that as good with a drop shot. But a drop shot is just a phenomenal tool, guys, for anything that you might want a little bit more weedless approach, but you still want to go finesse-y. The drop shot is the king there. I just feel like if there's a fish sitting there and you present the drop shot, it's really, really hard for the fish to resist it. So the way I rig mine up, this is a Missile Baits magic worm. It's the hottest worm out here right now. I usually rig a 12 to 18 inch leader, you know, Rains tungsten drop shot sinker. This is a 1/4 ounce. That's probably my #1 go-to weight to start out. Maybe I'll go to a 3/16. Sometimes I go a little heavier if it's windy or I'm fishing a little deeper. But the hook I use, and this is a really good deal, you got to pay attention to the hook. This is a 957 3/0 from Hayabusa. Very, very light wire hook. Guys, it penetrates very easily with this worm. You don't want an overbearing hook because you don't want to have to really set the hook hard. You want to kind of pull into them. This hook has an elevated hook point compared to the line tie. So if you could tell here, you have your line tie and the hook is well elevated above that. That gives you a lot better hookup ratio, especially with this finesse tactic, using lighter line, not having to set the hook heavy. I use a Fitzgerald Fishing 7.2 medium heavy Versa. I really, really like this rod for the drop shot. It's a very light rod. It helps me. I tend to set the hook a little too hard, so this is a very forgiving rod. It helps me not break some fish off on the hook set, but very, very sensitive to detect the bites. A good way to find fish, a good way to locate fish, but not too overbearing, still in the finesse category. I would like to say my Swim Jig from Hayabusa. This is a finesse style swim jig, guys. This is something I'm gonna cover a lot of water with. I'll do 3/8 or 1/2 ounce models, and I just slowly start reeling it in. Missile Bait Shockwave on the back here. The Shockwave is a very smaller boot tail swim bait. This is in the shrapnel color. This jig really imitates a bluegill really well. I have this on my Swim Jig rod from Fitzgerald Fishing, designed for swim jigging. You need to check this rod out. 7.2-to-1 Fitzgerald Fishing VLD10. That's my standard reel speed when I'm swim jigging. 7.2-to-1 always. Another really cool deal. This is number 4, the 4 key presentations for finesse. This is a Spro Little John MD. This is a very compact crankbait, guys. This is a very tight wobble, a really good option on deflecting off of cover, guys. This thing really deflects off rocks real well, stumps, laydowns, etc. This is a bait that I pretty much got tied on all around the country. I've caught a lot of key fish on this, covering water, but being finessey. I like fishing this on 12-pound P-line fluorocarbon. That's probably my #1 choice for this bait. Nothing too heavy, guys. You know, I'll usually throw this on a 7-foot medium heavy rod or the Fitzgerald crankbait jerkbait rod. But yeah, these are the key deals for me. Finesse fishing, you can apply these on anywhere you're fishing.